So I'm kind of torn with this because this is a former plantation, and part of it is a rainforest adventure where you have people propel themselves up and down for the good view that it is. This plantation, this is the boiler house over here. They've changed that into a restaurant, and they're honoring the person who they've named it after the descendant of the enslaved one of the enslaved families on the plantation, Emilio, and he can trace his grandmother back to actually working on this plantation here. Emilio, though born in the Dominican Republic, was, so here we're passing someone. So here's the actual Emilio's restaurant, Dine with History. I thought they were going to have brunch today, but not so. I should have called and checked, but I didn't. But in all vacations, sometimes things don't happen for good reasons. So this is Emilio's. Again, his mom was born on St. Maarten. His dad was born on Tortuga. He was born on Dominican Republic, but he came back here when he was 8 months old. That's supposed to be a statue of Emilio. The story about him, starfruit, that he's a super kind man. He would have kids here that were not his kids, orphaned kids, and he would welcome them. He bought this place in 1994 for about $8,000, and then he gave it to a nonprofit so that it could preserve the nature as well as be a free place that descendants of enslaved people could enjoy. A part of me is concerned about places where they profit from plantations. I think I'm a little bit more lenient towards this because Emilio is actually can trace himself straight to this plantation, so it doesn't feel so much like exploitation. But I, as a person that was descendant from enslaved peoples, I don't think I should ever pay to come into a place like this. I think part of the reparations to us for snatching us from Africa and killing our ancestors is to come here for free, because there's nothing entertaining about this to me. It's more restorative, feeling this sense of, hey, we survived, thank you for surviving, because that wasn't the plan. The plan was that we would be worked to death and discarded like rubbish, and we survived. So yeah, that's the mixed feeling I have of remembering that where I'm casually walking, that there are people working themselves to death, and they might have imagined freedom or might not. They were just like trying to make it through the day, some of them, and some of them might have imagined having a descendant or dreaming that they themselves would be free. So yeah, this is it. I didn't go into the museum, so I don't know whether they would have spoken about slavery or not. The last museum I went to, the Old House, that wasn't about slavery at all. It was just about nature. And for me, that's like an erasure of history. But again, you're thinking to yourself, like, who wants to go on vacation and hear about something that is so hard? Well, I don't mind, because it's my history. Look at that iguana crawling up, or is that a huge lizard of some sort? Yeah, I don't... It would be painful if my ancestors were still on this land toiling away, but now it's more like, congratulations, you survived, sort of thing. So it's not painful. It's more painful to see people just want to make it into a zip line place or make it into a restaurant without acknowledging the pain. So yeah, I love that Emilio insisted, like, you have to allow people to come on here for free. That's super nice. Also would like to think, like, do they ensure that Black businesses and people descended from enslaved people profit from this? Because Emilio's family was not the only one that suffered. Mango trees, June plum coming close, but there's nothing on there, not right. I did see some outside. They say it's a park, but I don't see, like, well, maybe because it's off season. Like, where would you just rest here and just have a good day? Most of the things are like blocked off from you. But yeah, this is it. The boiler house is where they would boil down sugar cane, hence the boiler house. Reduce the juice of the sugar to actual have this deep evaporation process till it becomes crystalline. Then they'd get off some for the vinegar, and yeah, and some for the molasses. Yeah, high school history coming out here. Yeah, so some curtains there. So yeah, it's not the day I planned, but I think it's the day I should have. That the people who profit from it are not here, and I'm not giving any money to them, except I paid to come here. That was in the taxi, that was my choice, but I'm not paying to see anything. I'm not going on the slides. And also, I don't know, like, they use the name of Amelia, but what else? Who profits from this restaurant? So part of me wanted to come and enjoy the restaurant, but part of me is glad that I didn't pay, because unless the money is going back to some, at least a portion of it going back to making reparations to the people who were harmed by this plantation, is this just another exploitation of people's images? It's a gorgeous place though. But it's not worth the death of people. So I imagine the ancestors standing out here. Maybe this was here, maybe it wasn't. But they toiled their whole time in the searing heat, plus the searing heat of the boiler room. Coming down here. And yeah, I see the fascination with having weddings and things here. If you're a descendant of an enslaved person, but I don't see the fascination if you're not. Like, it's just cruel. Like, for us to have a wedding here, it's saying, hey, look, I'm still here. Thank you for surviving. But other people having weddings here, it's like, hey, look, I'm still trampling on your life, not caring what happened to you, sort of thing. So I don't know. I don't have to have the answers to things. I just have to be posing questions and thinking about it. So yeah, we basically walked the whole park, and I would have beaten myself up if I hadn't seen it. Here's stagnant water here, star fruit, papaya. Yeah, those star fruit, they're too green. I used to have one of those trees in Jamaica in the front of the yard. Ooh, papaya. I don't know what tree this one is. Yeah. And I'm not going to pick the young star fruit. I guess this is where you could sit down for a moment. And from seeing the boiler room, oh, here's another star fruit tree. You see what I'm talking about? Ooh, you cannot leave a plantation without raiding something. So I'm going over there to raid, to pillage. Yes, going back in here, coming around. Yeah. Massa, you have to take something from Massa. Here, the star fruit. Yummy. Star fruit, star fruit. There's one. Of course, you can't be too greedy. They have to be yellow. Ooh. Like, ooh, here's a fallen. Oh, a couple of fallen ones here, so you don't feel like you're cat, kitty, kitty. All right. See one here on the ground. Kitty's being aggressive. So I gave him. Oh, but these are the ones I actually saw. Okay, and there we go. Fruit for my trouble. Oh, it's a soursop tree. How did I not recognize it? But that's too young. That's not a soursop, it's a sweet sop. A sweet sop tree, yes. But it's not ripe. Yeah, so it feels nice to come and pillage something. Use of the stones for building. Yeah, there's a nice fruit there. Ooh. Banana. Ooh. All right. That's it.